Hello, YouTube. It's me, John Avenger, once again, and welcome to another Movies That Are Praised or Misunderstood Month. And this is a Japanese movie from last year that came out in 2016 in Japan in the summer, and then it was released limitedly here in the US for like a week in October. I didn't get to see it last year, but I did get to see it online this year. And it is an amazing freaking movie, and it is Godzilla Resurgence, aka Shin Godzilla in Japan. Now, I was interested in this movie because I had seen the 2014 movie. I know my friend hates it because he says it's very slow and boring. But believe me, this movie has a lot more Godzilla in it, and it doesn't lie. He does resurface from the freaking ground up, and he is freaking awesome in this movie. I can't say the name of the cast because a lot of them have Japanese names that I'm going to screw up, and I saw this subtitled, so that's the only way to see it online right now. It's going to be released in the summer on DVD and Blu-ray, so that's good news. And I thought this movie was freaking amazing. This would have been in my top 10 last year because this movie looks fantastic. The director has a great eye for detail. The buildings look amazing. The special effects are top notch. It's a mix of CGI and motion capture suit work with Godzilla. It looks great. Um, I think the actresses in the movie are beautiful. The Asian actresses, Japanese actresses. There's a mix of Japanese and some English in the movie, so I appreciate that. So it's not just completely in Japanese. The film is long, but it's not. It doesn't feel that long. I sat through it. It was like under 2 hours, and I didn't feel it at all because I was very intrigued. I'm like the premise of Godzilla showing up again in Japan in Tokyo Bay, causing destruction. I mean, the destruction sequences are amazing in this freaking movie. The first time you see Godzilla, he's all scaly and his body is like red and his eyes are huge. And then he starts to evolve like a Pokemon. His eyes start to like pop out and they get all scary looking. And his face is all scarred and his body is scaly and freaking huge and red. And he starts off without arms and he's like crawling on the ground like a freaking lizard, and then he gets his little arms, and then his breath, it goes from, he can shoot his breath normally like he does in the original, the atomic blast, and blast buildings to shit. Here he can use his breath and shoot like beams out of his back. I'm like, that's freaking awesome, dude. That is badass. See, I can accept something new with this franchise because this is the 31st film that Toho has done, and it's a nice return to form. The accolades this movie got, it got like an 84% on Rotten Tomatoes. It deserves it. It's a fantastic freaking Japanese movie. Yes, there are some slow spots where people talk, but the franchise is like that. The original 54 film is a lot of talking before Godzilla finally shows up and starts destroying Japan, and you see the amazing freaking effects by Eiji Tsuburaya. Here, Tsuburaya has been dead for years, so he didn't do the effects, but the effects here are a nice homage to Tsuburaya's work in the 1950s to like the 80s or the early 90s. It looks great. Godzilla's a badass. His roar is the correct roar from the original. They got the score. They have a lot of homages to the original film, which is not nostalgia porn because it's the people that made the original Godzilla. It has the score. It has and then Godzilla's just freaking destroying everything. It's freaking awesome. There are no other monsters in the movie. It's just him evolving and adapting to this new world. And it's a new Godzilla. It's not the 54 version because it's different, the way he looks. But I thought it was badass. When he uses his tail to whip a building, or when he uses his atomic blast, or when those things shoot out of his back, and when the military's attacking him and it doesn't do shit. Because if you've seen any of these movies, like I have over the last 30 plus years, you see this monster is not to be fucked with. He destroys buildings like it's nothing, like it's just tinfoil. And just the score, they have the other scores as well in the movie. They have the dun 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 dun. They have not all the music, but some of the music from the previous film. The march. Dun 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 dun. I love that freaking music by Ifukube. It's fantastic. I love that they homage that. See Star Wars Rogue One and freaking TFA. This is how you do it. This is how you freaking do it. You bring back a character that we loved and you give him the respect he deserves. Fuck you, Abrams. You didn't understand that when you made The Force Awakens and you disrespected the characters in the original. That's something I didn't say in my review last year. Now I would rant on that movie because you don't take classic characters, Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia, and Han Solo, and reduce them to cameos. Go fuck yourself. And you too, Kathleen Kennedy and Lucasfilm and Disney. That's another rant for another day. But anyway, back to Godzilla Resurgence. He's the star of the movie. Once he appears, he is destroying shit like it's nobody's business. The cast is fine. The film looks fantastic. They got all this technology now. It's not a cheap looking movie. This film cost $15 million in US. In the US. In Japan, probably like millions. I don't know how much it is in Japan, but it looks fantastic. It looks better than any Star Wars movie I've seen since the prequels. And $15 million and it looks this good. It is amazing, dude. The CGI doesn't look like shit. It looks really well done. The film, like I said, it looks like a movie. It doesn't look like some cheap project that they put online or something. No, it's fantastic, dude. Is it the best Godzilla movie? No, because the original is one of the best. I love Godzilla versus Mothra, Final Wars, freaking King Kong versus Godzilla. There's just a lot of classics. But this one is pretty damn close to one of the... It's better than some of the Millennium films. I can honestly say that. If you were disappointed with Godzilla 2000 or some of the other ones, this one is definitely a step up from that. It looks great. It's dark and atmospheric. There's some moments that I smiled. I was like, "Wow, I'm loving this," because this is the Godzilla I wanted to see since the 2014 movie. Which, for better or for worse, that movie brought back the kaiju genre. Thanks to that movie and Pacific Rim, we're getting Kong versus Godzilla in 2020, and I can't wait for that. And this monster is my favorite movie monster of all freaking time. His franchise is in like my top 10 favorite franchises, along with Star Wars, Back to the Future, the Marvel films, so many other things. But Godzilla Resurgence is a good movie. It does. There are some slow spots. That's one of the flaws I have. The acting's not Oscar worthy, but it is well done. It's not as laughable as back in the day when it's dubbed. And this movie isn't dubbed. Like, the original Japanese version is all subtitled mostly. There's some English. The girl in this movie is gorgeous. I was like, God, I want to go to Japan. I want to just see these beautiful women. I'd love to date one of a Japanese American woman. It would be great. I would love that because they're just the bee's knees when it comes to Asian women. Just magnifique. Anyway, Godzilla Resurgence is a good movie. If you haven't seen it, you can watch it online or wait a few months and it'll be on DVD and Blu-ray in the US and in other spots of the world. I think it's a really good movie. This should have been in the theaters, mainstream last summer, instead of Independence Day regurgitated and freaking Fembusters and all these other movies that just failed. This movie was awesome. I really recommend it. If you have seen the 2014 movie and thought it was too boring or not enough Godzilla, this has enough Godzilla in it. A lot of him. He looks different, but they kept the spirit of the original 1954 classic monster. And his roar's correct. His freaking breath is awesome. He's the star of his own freaking movie. The destruction sequences are amazing. Like I said before, it is a good movie. I was very surprised. Because the praise it was getting was like, it won like 7 awards over there in like the Japanese version of the Oscars. It deserves it. I'd rather see this movie again than see Mad Max Fury Road. I'm sorry. If I don't give a shit about the cast, no matter how big they are, I don't care. This movie has my favorite movie monster of all time doing what he does best, and it looks great in a 2016 setting and now in 2017. I can't wait till this is on Blu-ray. It's going to be a fantastic movie to see on my TV upstairs. I was very, very thrilled. I was entertained by this movie. And like I said, it's a slow burn, but it's not Alien Covenant slow, where they show the monster at the end. No, bullshit. They show the creature in the first 20 minutes. Thank you, Toho. You got the freaking message. Because people hated the 2014 movie because you don't see Godzilla for almost an hour. Here, the Japanese know how to do it right. And I thank them for that. And the movie deserved praise. All the accolades, all the attention, all the freaking cheers, everything that it did last year, it deserved it. Badass. You've made the King of the Monsters the king once again. And that's all I'm going to say. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you do see this movie. It's not hard to find online. You can find it somewhere. I had to see it because it's not on DVD yet. But so worth your time. It didn't let me down as a fan of the character. and the cast is fine. They're not Oscar worthy, but I'd take this over some of the summer movies coming out this year. Other than Spider-Man: Homecoming, there's not a lot that I'm looking forward to this summer. Just a couple of films here and there, but that's the big one. But this one was definitely worth my time, and I wish that it was in theaters, more theaters close to home. But anyway, thanks for watching. Make a long story short, it's an awesome movie. Watch it. If you're a fan of this monster, watch it. I recommend it. Anyway, thanks for liking, subscribing, commenting on my videos. You guys are awesome. See you in the next review.